That's horrendous. That's one of the worst videos I've ever seen. That's really upset me, that. There's a really famous square in Dublin where like all the bars are and everyone's really jovial. And there was a guy who had set up this stand which was just exactly like that. So it's like a pull-up bar. It's like an external pull-up bar that isn't attached.
Oh, I've done one of them. It's a scam.
Well, or is it though? Why is it a scam?
Because it's an axle, isn't it? So it rotates.
But so is a barbell.
True. That is true. But yeah.
So it's like, I think if you hang for 100 seconds, you get 100 euros or pounds or dollars or whatever the currency is. And you have to pay a tenner to take part. And so there's this queue of people and everyone's doing it and getting like 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Like some people get towards a minute and you look at it and you think 100, like surely I'll be able to do that. Like if you spend any amount of time in a gym, you think, well, my grip strength's good enough for me to, like if it all comes down to it, if I'm going to win 100 quid, I'll be able to hold myself for 100 seconds. But as you say, it spins. So the reason why people use hook grip, the reason why people use mixed grip on deadlift is if you just try and do a double overhand deadlift, the bar will spin away from you and you can't hold on to it. So people use a mixed grip to counter that spin. So I tried to do a mixed grip when the guy went up and was like, oh, you can't do it, that's one.
Oh,
like,
wouldn't allow it.
So that, and he also wouldn't allow a hook grip. So that side of it is a bit scammy. But there are still people who do it.
Well, there are. So this video, this wasn't even prepared. I've just have a bank of all the things I've procrastinated on. So this is a guy who's about to win the £100. Obviously trains. And the guy running the stall really doesn't want to give him the £100.
What's he doing? Like trying to pull him down?
Yeah.
And then like gets aggressive with him. That's horrendous.
I think when he realizes he's not enjoying the tickling.
That's horrendous. That's one of the worst videos I've ever seen. That's really upset me, that.
Yeah, it's such a that's really unfair. But also,
yeah,
I would argue that you should have let him win for the sake of his marketing.
Yeah.
Because if they see, oh, well, he did it, I'll give it a go.
The whole queue of people would disappear, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Like you just completely turned away everyone who's watching.
Because like for a period of time, I considered, I looked at like if I could get one on Osborne Road in Newcastle when all the students are around in September.
Oh, yeah.
Pay someone minimum wage to man it, and charge so it's 100 seconds, and it's never going to be 100 seconds. So let's say it's £10 a minute to operate it, with let's say another minute of transition time, and you can have two of them side by side so people can compete against each other. I reckon it's over $1 million in turnover a year.
That's
of just operating that.
Yeah.
The trouble is, so I would also want a contactless. So you absolutely do not want the person earning minimum wage dealing with cash in hand. Firstly, it's an admin nightmare. Secondly, they'll just run away with the money. So you want two contactless terminals that people pay with their phone or pay with their card, and then you got the downside of the transaction fee, but that's by the by because it's £10 a minute.
So do you know who the guy who popularized? So I was listening to a Charlie Munger lecture the other day. Who, for people listening, he is the business partner of Warren Buffett. Very, very smart man, like total unit. And he was talking about this guy who ran a corner shop and he had his staff running it and it was all cash. And he was always running a loss and he was imminently going to have to close down the shop. And then he got approached by someone selling the cash register to him. And it was the first time they'd implemented it. And he was like, okay, I'll give it a go. Instantly started running a profit as soon as he got the cash register, and it was because the staff were just pocketing the money. So instantly, as soon as it's accountability, and so he closed up the shop and went into the cash register business, which you would. You'd be like, oh my God, this has had such an impact on my shop.
This is the solution. That's crazy.
So that's very wise, very astute of you, Johnny, to say I would get a
You just don't
payment
want to.
terminal.
Well, because if I'm paying you whatever wherever you set it up, whenever you set it up, if I'm paying you minimum wage, then and you think, well, hang on, like I'm getting £10 a minute here in my hands. If I pocket because it's very hard to keep a digital record of how many people did the hang test, right? Because otherwise you need like pressure sensors on the unit, and then you're adding cost. So the easiest way of doing it is just pay one time, and you ideally you'd want it built into the unit. So there's like a metal stand and a metal platform with the pull-up bar on it, and then there's a post with the like iZettle contactless terminal, and then you franchise it and you just send them all around the country.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's what Propane's going to become.
So watch out for Propane Bar Competition Franchise Limited.
It is the perfect thing for like Freshers Week, isn't it? You know, loads of like 18-year-old.
Oh, I can do that. Like,
yeah, exactly. I can hang up there and like you can take a hit. Like you can take a few people doing it a night, and it's still insanely profitable.
Well, you want people to occasionally win. So you want it to be like the top 10% of strength can do it. As long as they're only allowed to do it once a day.
Or you could maybe like have a tiered pricing system. So like you pay 15 quid and you can use chalk. You pay 20 quid and you can use hook grip.
Oh, you'd have to really run the numbers there. I mean, if there's anyone who can run those numbers, it's you.
Well, I don't think that many people can do hook grip. I don't think that many people who can do hook grip would be able to hold their body weight for 100 seconds. The one that would have to come at a huge premium would be mixed grip. So like you can do mixed grip, but it's 80 quid. So there's a £20 uplift.
Imagine.
Trouble is, if everybody uses mixed grip, you'd be running at a £20 loss per person. But you've also got to hope that not everybody who does mixed grip can do 90 seconds.
This is our problem. Instantly,
the people who'd win this, people like James Duff.
James Duff,
280.
if you're listening.
If you're listening, get yourself to Dublin. He's got like a 280 deadlift at 74 kilos. If there's a man who can hold his body weight on a spinning bar,
It's probably him.